Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. My question is, is Terence Crawford the next Dimitri Bivol or Zaire Raheem? For those of you wondering, why am I asking that question? Well, I'll tell you this. When you have a fighter like Zaire Raheem, Dimitri Bivol, beat someone who most people don't feel they were supposed to beat, they end up sometimes being in a holding pattern and finding it hard to find opponents. Because most opponents, after they witness a boxer like Zaire Raheem or Dimitri Bivol making the impossible possible, well, they don't want no parts of that. Now, for Zaire Raheem, he had almost a 20-year career. But the biggest win of his career is when he beat Erik Morales. And after he beat Erik Morales, he just really couldn't go on to get huge money, couldn't go on to get huge fights. He stayed pretty busy, but it's just not what he was hoping for. And it was really unfortunate because the dazzling display of speed, IQ, of all of these things, that you want to see in a fighter, man, controlling the landscape. Zaire Raheem had that, and he showed it all as he beat Morales to the punch, which was, mind-blowing for a lot of people. Landing those hard hooks to the body, putting Erik Morales on the ropes. Now, you all know Erik Morales was a come-forward fighter, but he just couldn't figure out. The Zaire Raheem would call himself Z-Man. He just couldn't figure out the Zaire Raheem puzzle. So at the end of the day, when you see guys like Zaire Raheem just outworking, out-muscling, out-thinking, and getting a victory over someone like Erik Morales, who was a huge name in the sport, but couldn't really go on to find significant fights, it's sad. And then when you come down, you take a look at Dimitri Bivol. I don't think I need to tell anybody that Dimitri Bivol is a sad situation. I honestly feel Dimitri Bivol probably should not have fought Canelo. I think if he wouldn't have beat Canelo the way he did, because he didn't just beat Canelo, he whipped Canelo's butt, didn't he? I truly believe Dimitri Bivol would probably be fighting for that undisputed distinction. I know the WBC was talking nonsense before, but I just have a feeling Bivol, he already had a little bit of attention on him. It's unfair, it's unwarranted, but what he did to Canelo Alvarez, I think that put a lot of people on notice, and as a result, Bivol is finding it difficult to find an opponent. You know what I'm saying? This man has a WBA strap at light heavyweight, and he can't lock down an opponent. I know he wants the undisputed distinction, and he's trying his best to wait and see if he can get that fight, but it's not going to get it. He's not going to get it, so now they're here searching for a fight. Eddie Hearn ain't really trying to help out. No one's really trying to help him because they know that he's a threat. He's a problem. You know what I mean? And the whole rematch with Canelo, let me tell you, that rematch wasn't going to come off unless Bivol agreed to some ridiculous stuff in the contract. And he just wasn't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Some of those points about like the money in the contract weight. Canelo wasn't about to go back up to no damn 175. Canelo was like, nah. So they're going to basically try to drain the man and try to jerk him out of money, give him the same money he made in the last fight, even though he's the one who beat Canelo. So it sucks for Bivol because he didn't take the fight, and I understand why. And now he's there in a holding pattern, and they can't find an opponent. Then Canelo, because he's the big, he's the show pony, he's the flagship fighter. He goes on now, signs a multi-fight agreement with PBC, and now he's chilling. But it's unfortunate because Bivol has been out the ring almost a year now. It's crazy. He's trying to get in before the end of this year, but there's no confirmed date, no confirmed opponent. the circumstances, it's unfortunate. And then once he starts going into negotiations, we've learned that fighters can duck an opponent through negotiations. So when you look at all of that, it makes you wonder. You got a guy like Zaire Raheem, one-sided beating of Eric Morales, a fight he wasn't supposed to win, right? Many people didn't feel he would win that fight. Dimitri Bivol goes in there with Canelo. Not many people knew who Bivol was before that. And he does what some people feel was, the impossible. And then Terence Crawford. There are a lot of people who really felt Terence Crawford didn't stand a chance against Errol Spence. And he, like Zaire Raheem did to Morales, Bivol did to Canelo, Terence Crawford made the impossible possible. But fortunately for him, he gets a rematch with Errol Spence. So he at least he has another fight lined up. But after he fights Errol Spence, let me tell you something. Crawford may be finding like Bivol, finding it hard to land an opponent, a worthy opponent, and to make the kind of money that he should go on to make, especially like Zaire Raheem was thinking. So you got the Zaire Raheem problem where he can't go out and make the money he feels he deserves, right? And then you got the Dimitri Bivol potential issue where he can't go out and get the lockdown an opponent. Because we know Bud Crawford ain't coming back down to no 147. So it's when I look at it, I know Terence Crawford is a fighter, and he'll probably have a better result in money and opponent than Raheem and Bivol, but I just don't think it's going to be what Terence Crawford would like. I don't. I'll be honest with you. And again, I'm just having a conversation because I've always said Zaire Raheem, it's unfortunate what happened to that guy. You see these fighters coming out here, man, getting an opportunity and taking advantage of that opportunity, and it should bubble them up to bigger and better, and sometimes it doesn't happen. And I'm sitting here watching Dimitri Bivol, and I understand the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, the war, and I get it. But I'm also watching Terence Crawford, and this man ain't from Russia. He don't have nothing to do with Russia and Ukraine. And there are people out here who just seem to want to have like an embargo on Terence Crawford getting the fights he's going to want and making the kind of money he deserves. They're going to stop a lot of that. But let's just sit back and see how things play out. But I'm just telling you right now, me thinking outside the box, this is the direction I think things will go for Crawford. As much as we want to see him and Canelo or him and Jamel, or outside of that, I mean, what's there? He's going to end up probably fighting the Zoo, which is a good fight. But I mean, really, he don't want to fight Boots unless Boots come up to 154, but he still may not fight. But really, you're sitting here talking about two fights in a possible, or one fight in a possible. Tim Tszyu is a more realistic fight, and then you got two possibles, Jamel and Canelo, maybe. Those are possibles. They didn't guarantee. It's really unfortunate. But that being said, leave your comments below and let me know what you think, man. Because damn, Bivol should have been fought, Aziz or Bawatsi, but they ducked him and instead chose to fight each other, man. And I don't know, maybe somebody from 168 will bubble up to 175 and fight him. Munguia is big enough. Maybe De La Hoya say, you know what, I'll throw Munguia in there with Bivol, but I don't know. Everyone knows when you got a guy like Zaire Raheem, Bivol, and Terence Crawford, and you got a fighter who is right on the cusp of stardom, you really don't want to risk putting them in the ring with guys like that unless there's a huge reward of the dollar. If there's a huge money reward, huge money incentive, financial incentive for taking the fight, cool. It's like going up to fight Canelo. You know, for Jamel, the incentive, the financial incentive is too big to turn down the opportunity. What's the incentive on fighting Bivol? A belt? Okay, cool. Ain't no money. What's the incentive of fighting Crawford? We got to wait and see if there's going to be money associated with fighting him. Right now, I don't know. Zaire Raheem, there was no money there. That being said, keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. More to come on Terence Crawford. Is he going to be the next Bivol or Zaire Raheem? Or is he really going to be the next Mayweather, Canelo? Is he that guy now? I guess we'll find out in due time. Keep cool. Thanks for supporting the channel. In the breeze.